Hello everyone and welcome to a new Let's Play. I am aware that I haven't been actually Let's Playing for about 2, maybe almost 3 weeks now. Mainly because I got discouraged because I originally tried to play Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy with the, with Crash Bandicoot 1. I got halfway through and then when I looked back at the footage when I got done with it, it wasn't usable footage. And that really upset me. So it discouraged me from making videos for about a week or two in general. And then I decided to resume Spotlight with the catch-up weekend of having 2 back-to-back Spotlights, I believe last Saturday and Sunday. And then we're back on regular schedule with Sonic Infinity Engine, which was the last Spotlight episode before I started trying to record this. But we're gonna try doing this again. We're gonna try doing Crash Bandicoot 1. I want to do all 3, but at the moment we're focusing on Crash Bandicoot 1 for the Sane Trilogy. I originally tried to stream this on my Twitch when it first came out on PS4 back in June of 2017, and it didn't go over very well because I had some input lag because I was streaming from my PS4 to my computer, and then I was also trying to stream out into Twitch. So that wasn't a very good idea, but I decided, hey, why not do this since I finished A Hat in Time. Don't worry, A Hat in Time's Seal the Deal is going to be coming at some point, but at the moment, I'm trying to get this to work. So let's hope that we can do this. We're going to do a new game.
But Dr. Cortex, we haven't determined the cause of past failures.
Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general. I will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time, I shall reign triumphant.
They completely redid the intro cutscene, which it looks a ton better, and it flows a bit more fluidly than it did in the original PS1 version, since they have more resources to do that. With Maurice LaMarche as Embryo and Lex Lang reprising his role as Cortex instead of Clancy Brown, to probably keep it consistent, since Lex Lang has been the voice of Cortex since Twinsanity. Clancy Brown's last major Crash game as Cortex was Crash Nitro Kart. And this also marks the resurgence of Tana ever since the terrible Crash Boom Bang. Connect 3 Aqua Aqua Masks to become invincible. I have spun. But yeah, the original footage was like super choppy. Like there were bits of it that were usable, but then there were bits that were not. So overall, the entire thing was just not usable. So I ended up just turning down some of the graphics to see if my computer could handle recording it. When I was playing the Sonic Infinity Engine, I didn't notice any drops or anything. So hopefully it was just the fact that I had everything at like super ultra, which my computer can handle. However, it doesn't seem to be able to handle that and record at the same time. Because I still haven't gotten a new graphics card. I'm still using the Radeon 480 4GB. So I'm hoping to get a new card soon, like within the next few months. Have my eye on the 1660 Ti, and hopefully that'll let me be able to keep everything at ultra, but also still be able to, you know, record. We are going. Oh. I did the same mistake I did in the original recording. I went too fast. That's how you're supposed to do it, but I keep going too fast and I don't want to restart the level. This isn't like the actual Crash one where you'd have to restart the level if you died even once if you wanted to get the gem. Because the old method for Crash Bandicoot 1 was that you did great, but you died. Wow. I've died twice in the first level. That's fantastic. I'm doing worse than I did in my original recording. I mean, can we not? Can we not do this badly? That would be fantastic if I could actually get through this. This was hard to do because of the controls, personally, in the actual Crash 1, but it's easier here because of the more responsive time and the fact that you just need to be patient, which I seem to not be. Yep, got all of them now. Aha! He's taking it out of his butt. Ba-da-ba. They basically tried to use Jess Harnell to replicate the actual thing that the original Crash ended up doing, because he doesn't talk. He did make the noise, and he did go uh-oh in the original Crash 1, but that was the most that we got him to talk, other than saying whoa. But for the most part, Crash is a mute. He doesn't talk. And Jess Harnell has been voicing Crash since Crash Tag Team Racing. Not entirely a fan of that, personally. Mostly because he started voicing Crash in the babble area, where he just endlessly babbled for no particular reason, instead of actually talking. But the only other word that Crash has been known to say is pancakes. And that was just randomly at the end of Crash of the Titans, you know, the Crash game that pretty much almost nobody really liked, because it was such a divergence from the established formula. And until the Insane Trilogy, we didn't really get anything Crash related except for a couple of mobile games. Ah, I didn't do that right. Alright, we got Crash Bandicoot Mutant Island, and then we got the Crash Bandicoot CNK 3D mobile games. And I think the last Crash game prior to the Insane Trilogy at all was Crash Nitro Kart 2, or Crash Nitro Kart 3D 2. I think it was Crash Nitro Kart 2. I think that's what it was just called. It had nothing to do with the original Crash Nitro Kart. It was basically a sequel to Crash Nitro Kart 3D that was on the iOS. So not even Android players could really get their hands on it. It was just released for iOS, which upset me because I don't have an iPhone. I believe I played Crash Nitro Kart 3D. I missed 3 boxes because I didn't have the color gem. Okay, yeah, I believe I played CNK 3D once because I used to have an iPhone, and that's how long it's been. It's been like at least 7 years from that game release, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I've ever played CNK 2, though, from the iOS, because I believe when that came out, I had broken the iPhone that I had, and then I decided, oh, hey, I'm going to go Android. And never regretted it. I very much enjoy Android. Anyway, that's not really the point I was trying to make. I was trying to make that the last Crash game prior to this that we had that would not count something like Skylanders or a mobile game would be Crash Bandicoot or Crash Mind Over Mutant, which was part of the Titan era, which I think was supposed to be, the Titan era was supposed to be basically New Crash. God dang it. Alright, well I don't think I can get the gem here anyway because it's color gem. Yeah, I'm definitely doing worse than my original attempted playthrough. Yeah, spiky. And the fire. Because, I mean, it will stop me from getting, like, the boxes and stuff from the bonus, because I can still benefit from the extra lives and the Oompa Fruit. But fun fact that Vicarious Visions, the developer behind the Sane Trilogy, this isn't their first foray into the Crash Bandicoot franchise. They've made games like Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure, Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced, Crash Purple, and Crash Nitro Kart. Essentially all the games that I listed, apart from Crash Nitro Kart, are Game Boy Advance only. And I have... my opinions probably differ greatly from most people with those games, because I hate The Huge Adventure. Not because it's a bad game. It's a decent 2D side-scroller game from taking Crash from a 3D environment to a 2D environment. I hate the fact that they basically ripped off all of Naughty Dog's work. They basically took the PS1 models, turned them into sprites, and, well, that conversion is probably pretty intense and probably impressive for the time. And the only thing unique about it that I can think of is the Mega Mashup secret final boss at the end of it. It was just basically a hodgepodge mix-up of Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3. Even the intro cutscene are still... I use cutscene very loosely because it was basically still images with text scrolling of the Crash Bandicoot Warped intro and trying to put new text over it to make it, I guess, feel like it's a new thing, but it was literally just stills of a couple of scenes, like images from the Crash Bandicoot Warped introduction where, yeah, I finally got a gem. That wasn't just the first level. That from Crash Bandicoot 3 when Cortex and Ukuko are talking to each other. And then I suppose they also made the Jumbotron thing, but the Jumbotron could have just been a modified version of Cortex's head from Crash Bandicoot Warped. The only time that they seem to do anything that might have been a little bit original, but with a mixture of also still combining past stuff, like sprites and stuff from Crash Bandicoot Warped, was the Entranced sequel. Because Entranced was an entirely new character, so that was ambitious, and it's the only Crash game that I believe does not have any sign of Cortex whatsoever. I don't think it's ever actually explained why Cortex is not there or where he went. But then again, it's been a very long time since I played it. And while I still think it was incredibly cheap to just still use sprite versions of already established designs from Naughty Dog, because you can tell that they were literally just the PS1 models but turned into 2D sprites. Especially since the style was a little bit weird. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like it meant to be on the Game Boy. It felt like it was a last-minute decision to put it on there. And they did what they could with the last-minute decision. And while they made a playable game, and it's definitely not terrible, that part I can't get past. That's the main reason why I don't like The Huge Adventure. And there are reasons why I don't like Entranced either. Pretty much for anything that Vicarious has worked on, besides the Sane Trilogy, I've always had some sort of problem with it. Like, Entranced, I hate the fact that Cortex doesn't show up at all. I hate the fact that started a rumor that you can secretly fight Cortex as the secret final boss, when that was not true. The secret final boss is Entropy. Because Entranced is technically the final boss, but then if you get 100%, you can fight Entropy. You don't fight Cortex.